What have we got? We have a very interesting puzzle today. We've got okay, so we can select anything. We've got a 10 by 10 grid. I'll listen back to some of the videos of me solving puzzles, and oh god, the number of times I just like completely miscount things or just like say numbers that are completely detached from reality. Um, so all of these little rooms have a number in them that does appear to be the number, the size of that room. Um, hmm. What do we? I mean, does that just mean that these have to be filled? What else could it mean? I mean, it could mean something like has to have four pieces adjacent to it or something like that. Um, what's our space that isn't touching any of the pieces before we get involved in trying to make guesses or whatever. Like I'm trying to think like what's our likely problem solving space, right? This the space in which we're likely to be operating. Um okay. The fact that we have the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, are we gonna have to I'm wondering oh there's some of them are really awkward shapes, aren't they? Maybe we need to have more of these. So I guess for our first guess, we would like to fill some of these and not fill others and see does it like the filled ones? Does it dislike the unfilled ones? Um, might be interesting as well to make shapes outside that are the same as some of these. That could be interesting. There's space to do that. Um, maybe make one that's a different orientation of it. Um, make sure to fill some of them. Partially fill one. Uh, let's have. Do you know? I'm gonna use this one to make a shape that crosses the boundary there. This time all of our white spaces joined. I think might not be next time. Let's try this as a guess and see if it gives us any useful information. Okay, so what do we get here? So the red rule. The red rule dislikes everything outside of the rooms, the numbered rooms, and it dislikes the 3 room. Maybe it dislikes the 3 room because this has got a shape that crosses the boundary of the 3 room? Perhaps? The orange rule just dislikes everything outside the rooms. The yellow rule dislikes everything inside the room. So the yellow rule does look like it might well be a room has to have this number of pieces of shaded cells in it, which presumably just means we have to shade them all in. The green rule is unhappy with the partially shaded ones. Sorry, we're unhappy with the completely empty ones. Huh. And it seemed completely indifferent to us making the shapes of cells elsewhere on the board. So it doesn't seem like that's our thing. So I mean, we could just do the fill them all in. Did it? What did which rules did any of the rules dislike? None of the rules disliked the 5. This would be so disappointing if this if this is correct. I'd be like, what's even the point? My guess is that we're going to do this, and it's going to be the red rule hates everything outside, the orange rule hates everything outside, and maybe the yellow and green rules will be happy. How about we try and do some weird like partition some of this space with checkerboards and see if like now that we've partitioned off some white space, maybe I'll get upset about that. Let's see what this does. So passes the red rule. Everything fails the orange rule. Well, everything outside fails the orange rule and the yellow rule. Okay. So not really getting a lot of data here. I mean, we could do just like the really boring, tedious one. What was this telling us? I think this was. I mean, I guess we have to. I mean, my guess is that it's just going to. The orange rule is going to fail and nothing else will fail? The green rule failed. What was the green rule? So the green rule doesn't like the completely. Or how did we fail it? What? Oh, so the green rule is saying that no room can be completely empty, including the exterior room. The yellow rule is saying that every room has to have at least the number of pieces in its number. The orange rule. So maybe we need to have. So I don't think we're allowed to put any pieces. Do we need to find somewhere that we can fit a 7-piece? I don't think we can fit a 7-piece in here anywhere. Although it depends. Is there a pattern that these pieces are following? 1, 2. I mean, allowing for reflections, everyone can like add one more piece. What would the 7-piece look like? Is there an obvious way to say where on the 6-piece you would add a 7th piece, and then we maybe need to find somewhere that we can fit that into the board? So where even? Okay, I guess ask ourselves where. I feel like I'm grasping at straws again. Where could a 6 fit there? The 6-piece could fit here. It could fit here, allowing for reflections and rotations. Could fit there. Could fit here or here. Any of those. Could fit in there. Could fit in here. Could fit in here. Could fit in here. Here. There's a fair bit of space for it down here. But like, there's nowhere that it could fit without touching something else. Where did we fail the orange rule? We failed the orange rule everywhere there. Maybe by having multiple pieces. How did we fail it here? Yeah. Let's just put what's the largest piece that we can put in that wouldn't touch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That there would be. Let's try this. What does this do? Any guesses? What? any ideas what the rules were? So my speculation here, like the reason I made the shape was I'm guessing maybe. So I think the green rule is no room can be empty. There's a rule that is that every room must have I think was it the yellow rule? I think the yellow rule was every room must have a single contiguous black shaded region. I suspect there was a rule that said no two shaded regions, like contiguous shaded regions, can be the same size as each other. And there was also a rule that no contiguous shaded region can span a border or any of the room borders. I think those were broadly the rules. Let's find out if that was right. Shapes and spells on the board to form islands. All regions contain exactly one island, which is an orthogonal correction group of shaded cells. Okay, we got that. A number indicates the size of the island in the region. Okay, we got that. Shaded cells cannot be adjacent across border regions. We got that. Two regions which share a border must have islands of different sizes. Okay, that is. What is that? More general or more specific than our? That's more specific than our rule. But in this particular case, because there's only one region that borders multiple others, and all the others have a number in them, it works out the same. Like, we couldn't have distinguished this rule from our rule. Okay. Fair. Countries in different marine they're called marine areas. Let's see. Shaded cells in a marine area are divided. I think we got that fairly quickly, right? Yeah. Okay. Shimaguni. I'm gonna upload that to YouTube. Sorry for not having more of a description, YouTubers. Sorry for trying to do the two birds with one stone thing.